U.S. attorneys are going to jail. Here's how. I'm going to break it down to you in the simplest way possible. The biggest issue they got right now is that they're stepping into quicksand because they keep breaking the law consistently. Let me give you an example of that. There's still a case right now, even though Elon has stepped away, it don't matter. We got 14 states, Democratic, of the 23 Democratic states that have been fighting Trump for the last 21 weeks, which, by the way, he's 9 and 90, right? So here's the breakdown of this. This guy, meaning Trump, and their group has been breaking the law through Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi could be going to jail as well. Here's the thing. The U.S. Attorney's Office, along with Elon, could be going to jail. Here's the break. The Elon's broken laws, 30-plus laws, and he's been outed about it. He's in trouble. But here's the big deal that's coming to you. The prosecutors under there. That's why one just left as soon as they tried to indict Garcia. He was out. He was like, I got to go. Got to break. Because these guys, all of them are in hot water because they have said things like with these 14 states suing, they have said the craziest stuff. They signed affidavits saying that Elon was not head of Doge. And then 2 weeks later, less than 2 weeks, Donald Trump in front of the State of the Union says, congratulations to Elon, head of Doge. It's like they keep blatantly putting it out there in front of people's faces. And I think it's one of those cases where the judges got their I's dotted, T's crossed, and they're getting ready to take down some people. It came close 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, when Judge Zinnes said, okay, so you're not bringing Garcia back. I see all these problems. We're about to have a problem. Within 2 days, they say, oh, Garcia's coming back. But wait, I thought he couldn't bring him back. Oh, but wait, I thought you said he's never coming back according to your White House website. Of course, they ripped that down real quick and said, what? No, we didn't say that. See, as much as you think that Trump don't care about judges, he wants you thinking that. He knows the opposite because the people under him know that if you ignore the judges, it's not going to be him going to jail. It's going to be the people under him going to jail, starting with the prosecutors. And he told members of the court, these are people who could lose their license, at the very least, lose their job and license, but even better, they could go to jail. And there's a good chance they could do that, and there's still a chance out there. It's not going to happen right away. A lot of this stuff is being protected by Pam Bondi, who also could go to jail, and it's being protected and protected and protected. But the problem is that the justice system is slow, but it's definite. It's coming for them assets. It is not play around. When they say they're coming for you, they're coming for you. The judge said they trust that our legal system is on business. It's slow. It's slow, y'all, and it hurts. We know it hurts. We are running a marathon among sprinters, and the sprinters are losing. His court record is 9 and 90, and that's why, for the first time in history, 10 people out the U.S. Southern District of New York U.S. office left, starting with Sisson. They broke the hell up out of there because they knew funny shit was going on with Eric Adams, Elon Musk, who has the same attorneys and them working this shit out together. They knew the game was on. They ran like hell, and rightfully so. And I'm trying to tell you right now, it's going to get even worse. It's going to get worse for them. It's catching up to them. And what I'm saying is that, they think that this, I don't know, I call it AI, arrogance and ignorance. AI, the Trump AI system, is going to somehow protect them from what is going to go down. It's the same thing that those Yahtzees thought about with Hitler. When back in the 30s and 40s, they thought they were invincible. These guys think they're invincible. They're not invincible. See, we're protected by decentralized government with the U.S. Constitution. And what they want to do is reign terror and scare you into believing, one, they can override the U.S. Constitution. They can't. And two, that somehow what they say is going to override judges. It won't. Or three, that he's a king. And we already had 5 million people across 2,000 events say there's no king day. But hey, guess what? On top of that, in the Constitution, there's one other thing. Decentralized government. We got 3 branches of government. And the judicial branch has just as much power as the executive and legislative branch. And that's why they've been 9 and 90. And that's why the Trump administration keeps showing up in the courts. They do not want to fuck around with what is going to go down. And what's going to go down is eventually all of these laws they're breaking is coming back to them. It's coming back to them. What is happening and is taking time is that it's being documented. It's being documented, and it will be followed up with. These people got to have a career long after these 3.5 years. We got less than 3.5 years. It's been a rough 6 months. We've been through one. Yes, yes, yes. But understand this: eh, they gotta live long after Trump, and he only has so much shelf life. That's why he's trying to push 150 executive orders through. By the way, only a small percentage have leaked through. He may be fast at the executive orders, but he's weak on effectiveness, meaning that 90, he's not being effective. Now, how long does it take to get all of this stuff back to the way it was? It's going to take decades. I'm sorry to say, long term, decades. Midterm, a few years. In short term, they will be able to change some things, but letting Elon in there was absolutely super harmful, destructive. That's why I believe he's going to jail too. And the U.S. Attorney's Office has just been blatant like a mother doing this stuff. Pam Bondi could go right there with them. Understand this. It is a weight game. I know it is. It's frustrating. It's tiring. It's draining. But we are in a marathon, and we're winning, and we're fighting sprinters. Here's the thing I heard from the intelligence community, and there's several people who heard the same thing, and that is, if he had been slow and methodical, like the Chinese are with Hong Kong, go look back at Hong Kong. Hong Kong had all sorts of protests in the streets by the millions, everything. They systematically shut that down. You don't hear jack from Hong Kong no more. It is gangster. Shut it down. They did. Yes, they did. Shut it down. But I will tell you this, and you listen to me carefully now. His lack of methodical approach, along with AI, arrogance and ignorance, is absolutely his downfall. But there's a weird thing happening. I believe he could resign in 365 days because of his health, the economy, ineptness, deportations. And honestly, that's where my greatest fear come in. It's not a celebration of him leaving, because J.D. Vance is way more slick. He is way more critical. And because of that, because people know this, we have to understand very clearly that having Trump in may actually be a good thing. I know it sounds weird. But it may be a good thing, because as long as he continues to lose and we continue to win, regardless of the psychological battle, which is what it is, a battle of narratives, we could still come across on top of this whole damn thing. That's why I have a group, a clarity group, telling people this is what you're doing. You know, it's in my homepage. You know where it's at. It's over in my descriptions. If you've been watching, if you're watching from TV, all you got to do is go over there or DM me at darrenmonroe.com. I'll send it to you. But honestly, right here on YouTube, you can go to the homepage and see it. If you want to join my YouTube group, at least a lighter version of my clarity group, just to see what my vibe is and see my exclusive content, you definitely go ahead. It's a diamond pack. It's only $7. You'll win. You'll win. You'll win hearing me say some deeply thought about things. But I want you to understand this, like the election, after talking code. And then I'm going to talk about how Elon's getting a bag, how Trump is getting a bag. Some really deep stuff in my member for YouTube. The clarity, I go even deeper, like 10, 15 different events deep. Plus, I do live secret events over there where I get to talk like I want to. That's not on social media. On YouTube, I'm going to do some live events when we get some members in. I just launched this a day or so. But I want you to understand this. The bigger picture of this that we're dealing with right now is to understand what this man's narrative is. He's got a narrative. And that's what's going to pull down these U.S. attorneys. And Elon's already set his course. It'll take years to get him in jail, but he'll be in trouble. But the people out of the U.S. Attorney's Office, they're at the very least going to lose their license. By the way, of those 90 losses, one of which was the American Bar Association, it sued him and won. He's losing bad. But he wants you to think he's winning. Because if you think he's winning, he's got your hearts and minds. But he's losing. And these U.S. Attorney's Office people, U.S. attorneys could go to jail, man. They could. They could. I'm telling you. Because each one of them are going to be tracked down. They're documented. But nobody's saying nothing publicly about this. Of course, they can't. Not in the midst of the Trump administration. I mean, you got people, lawmakers, getting unalived, executed over just being lawmakers on the Democratic side. This is a witch hunt. This is a time when they're going after him. So nobody's doing that. But listen, 3.5 years ain't very long. I mean, it may seem like it's long, but it's breaking down to about 40 months. And 40 months could go by in a slow time, and it doesn't have to be the whole 40 months. Because when we get to midterms, if there's very little chance the Democrats could pull it, though they could blow it up. Yeah, I know they could ruin it because Democrats are idiots who are leading that. But could Democratic lawmakers get enough of a lead to shut down everything that they're doing? Absolutely. And make him a cuck for the next 2 years? Absolutely. Lame duck cuck? Yes. But between that time, which we got 1.5 years of, we're battling in the courts, but we're winning. We're in the marathon, but we're winning. You dig what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. You want more details on this? You can join my groups. Look at the cover of my YouTube, or at that time, go look at the membership tab in the channel, and you can see from there, okay? If you ever want to know the difference, you got the YouTube membership, which is great. I'm going to break things down. The one below that, the one that's deeper, is the Clarity group. If you're trying to make some money, join the Moneymakers group, all right? I love y'all. Just spread word. We're winning, and these attorneys can go to jail, can lose their jobs, and most certainly lose their licenses.